Christine from the Pointe shop. I'm at Cincinnati Ballet today. It's during their summer intensive, but Sirui is here taking class with the kids. So I watched her in class and I think everyone was a little bit like, there's a principal in my ballet class right now. But it was great. It was so fun to watch you in class today. Sirui is actually in the middle of trying out different pointe shoes, and what pointe shoe makers do is that they send her shoes, like trial pointe shoes. She can kind of try everything out and see which one she likes. But she customizes her shoes. So a lot of dancers, even if they get a custom shoe that's made for them, they still do additional customs on top of that. So let's talk about your first trial shoe that came. What maker is this?
This is Squiggle.
Oh,
I think he's kind of new.
He is, you're right. So Squiggle Maker's pretty new. So she's in the free Classic Pro 90, and it says special on there, because it's special. I really like Squiggle.
I really like it, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. So good job, Squiggle. Keep it up. Okay, and it has your name, obviously, and then it has a couple different things. So what customs did they send you?
So first is 2.5 insole, which means it's already, the shank has already been cut. And I have lowered the sides. I didn't do anything with the heel because I like how the look goes down, so it's better lines for me.
That's true. So kept the heel long, but then cut down the sides. So everyone's arch kind of breaks at a different point. So for Sirui, she breaks a little bit lower than most people. Some people have their arch higher, so they need to have a little bit more support all the way up. So you have to determine where your foot breaks and where your arch bends, and then that's where you should cut it. If you need to cut it. But obviously you kept the sock liner.
I usually sew back.
Oh, you sew it back.
Yeah, I usually like sew it because they don't like come off easily.
Oh, yes.
And it won't hurt like get blisters in my arch.
That's right.
So that's why I usually do.
Sock liner, some people will they won't even use this part. They'll just use like duct tape or something to like tape it down. But it gets kind of wet when you sweat it in. It's too slippery.
Yeah.
So there's leather and then there's fabric. This one's leather, so you can always think about that if you're customizing your shoe as well.
For free, I also glue it.
Where do you glue?
Just the box inside.
Got it. Do you
Because
squish it first?
Yes, I do. And then they get soft pretty quick. So usually I like wear it, break down a little bit. Then I put some glue in there to make it stronger, like stay in the shape I broke down.
Okay, you've seen in our other pointe shoe hack videos, you can squish it to where you feel comfortable, and then if you glue it, then it retains that shape. So that's basically what Sirui does. And you don't really cut your elastic very much down.
No, also I like elastic ones, not the
cotton.
Yeah, I don't like those ones because they leave space when you
That's
have
true.
releve, and I can never feel comfortable. But I know some dancer doesn't like elastic because they're too tight. So I guess you have to find the medium place.
That's
where you
right.
feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yes, so some people like the cotton drawstring, some people like the elastic. It depends on how you like your elastic pulled. So that's also a very easy custom to do because the company can just do it for you.
I don't really cut much because I had an accident when I cut too short and it just shrunk inside.
Oh my God.
I couldn't wear at all.
A lot of people, actually most people, they'll double knot it and cut it all the way to the end. But Sirui leaves a little bit because you learn from your mistakes.
So what I do is the tuck in while putting shoes on. You won't see it, and then normally it won't come out.
So some people who are very sensitive, if they tuck in the elastic, and if you like your shoes really tight, you'll start to blister a little bit. But if you don't have problems with that, then I think this is safer.
Yes.
Because you don't lose your drawstring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, come back to me.
And it's really hard because I used to, one time it happened and I had to, because I didn't have shoes, so I had to use the bobby pin and to like tie one side in a knot and go through the whole thing all the way around. But then because it's short, you have to stop the first side now to keep going. Oh my God, it was a
nightmare. Yeah, to try to fish out the elastic. You know what actually really works is chopsticks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so what you do is you like stick a needle on the chopstick and then you thread it all the way through because the chopstick is longer.
Yeah, okay.
A little Asian tip for you. Yeah. Can you cut a shank for us?
Yeah.
To see? So this is what her first trial shoe. She cut it a little bit lower than the 3/4 mark. So some people, they cut it a little bit higher because that's where their arch is. This is where Sirui's arch is. So I love it when it's like nice and broken in.
So what I usually do, I have this like garden scissors.
It's hard.
Yeah,
heavy
I've seen
duty.
bigger ones, but this one works for me. And then I do cut just little above the nails here, and I will just cut down. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and I usually like make it a little flatter from like maybe the other side.
Always ask your parents for help if you do this. We don't need any like chopped off fingers.
Shank wise, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Only if I don't feel comfortable, then I might cut a little more. And then,
so you try it out.
yeah, I tried out and that fits pretty well. Then I will just like keep it.
Like right there. So you can see that's exactly where she cut it and where her arch is. So you kind of have to pull back the fabric and see where it is. Now she has a good idea of where her arch is, so she can do it without measuring. Take a pencil and then kind of show, like you can mark where your point shoe is, where your arch breaks, and then you can cut it there. And it makes it not only pretty, but for some dancers it makes it last longer. Yeah, because it's kind of like a shelf. So for a lot of dancers in training, it doesn't, but dancers who can like really bend their feet, I think this is a really good way to make your shoes last a little bit longer and make the lines prettier. You want to make sure that you keep experimenting with point shoes. I mean, you've been in this company for 8 years and she's still experimenting with her shoes. So a lot of people ask me like, oh, I haven't found that magic shoe yet or the perfect shoe yet. It's like, well,
it really takes time.
it takes so much time.
Especially when you're used to something and it's really hard to switch.
Exactly. So it's very difficult and people are still experimenting. And plus there's new shoes, new makers that come in the market all the time. So you definitely want to experiment with it.
They actually give me 2 makers. I think it just try to, in case something happened to one of them, I think.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so I'm trying both makers and everything else is the same.
Yes. Same custom, but 2 different makers. So the other maker that she is holding up is the R maker, who is also new. It's always good to have like a newer maker because they don't retire soon. They just come on the market, so we know we have at least 10 years with them.
And also I don't think they're packed. Because some other makers are like back order a long time.
Forever. So some makers, it's like almost impossible to get. So it's good to have like newer makers. You'll find makers that are similar to others, so you can always experiment with that too. So do you normally like stretchy ribbon?
Yeah, I've been using more stretching ribbons than the normal ribbons.
So she uses stretchy ribbon and then she crosses her elastic to get a little bit more support. And a lot of people do this where you sew on the elastic and the ribbon in the same place, so you don't have to sew twice. And it pulls up your arch better. This is exactly where her shoe breaks. It's aligned with the elastic and the ribbon, so this is where her arch is. So the ribbon and the elastic is going to pull up the fabric even further to make your feet look prettier. So that's a little tip. A lot of people ask me where you should sew your ribbons and the elastic. It's usually going to be right where your arch is. If you sew on the ribbons in a loop, then you can just pull it off. It's so much faster. Especially if you have to do that in the middle of, of a show.
And the only thing is you have to twist before you sew them. Otherwise, when you put on, it's twisted.
That's right. So you make sure that you do it you flip once over, so it makes it a little bit, it's more clean. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for showing us your point shoes. If you guys are in Cincinnati, Ohio, come watch Sirui. She's going to start her season in August, and you'll know exactly what point shoes she wears.